So, Skrulls are the bad guys. And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
Your life began the day it nearly ended. We found you with no memory. We made you one of us. So you could live longer, stronger, superior. You were reborn.
I keep having these memories. Something in my past is the key to all of this.
You know how to fly this thing?
We'll see.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Would you like to know what you really are?
I think I had a life here. What aren't you telling me?
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think. This war is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's you? I'll be back.
Hi, everybody. This is Sai with the Rambling Film Group podcast. Today, we're going to be just talking about some of the latest trailers that came out. We're going to be talking about the second Captain Marvel trailer that came out on, what was that, Monday, I believe? During Monday Night Football at halftime. But before we get into that, I do want to introduce my co-hosts that are always here with me. We have my right-hand man, Chuck. How are you doing today, man?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Great. And then right next to him, we have his lovely wife, Kelsey. How you doing this morning?
Hi, guys. Good.
Great. So yeah, like we said, we're gonna just go ahead and get into the Captain Marvel, the second trailer that they released. It brings a little bit more insight compared to, I guess, that first one you can call a teaser trailer, whatever you want to call it. So it gives a little bit more info and background compared to that one. But do either one of you guys want to start us off?
Do I?
No.
I can. I don't have a whole lot to say on it. What I will say, I was really underwhelmed with the first trailer. I don't feel that way about this one overall. This one, I'm not like entirely sold on the movie. I'm there because I'm going to be here for it because it's Marvel's first movie featuring a female character. But I know nothing of this character really besides she shared the name with Shazam for a long time, and that she's like she's a heavy hitter. She's one of the most powerful characters. Outside of that, my knowledge is really limited. And if I wasn't just a fan of like spectacle filmmaking overall, this would be a hard one for me to be like excited about at this point. What I will say is, in speaking to the spectacle nature of it, that's got me like, besides like trusting Marvel at this point and like liking spectacle like that, is some of the shots in this trailer, specifically like one of those ending shots of her in space, doing her thing, just flying around in space, firing off. I feel like I haven't seen a character with this kind of skill set and with that kind of power just doing something on that scale. So that looks really cool to me, and that's a huge selling point for me personally. Yeah, but going outside of that, there's unfortunately not a whole lot going for me with this movie. So I'm still kind of reserved on it. I still don't know exactly how I'm going to feel about it overall, but those shots have piqued my interest.
Yeah, I'm more excited for it now. That first one, kind of how you were, I was really underwhelmed with like that first bit of everything. Because like I feel like this trailer first did a better job actually establishing like who she was for people who aren't familiar, and establishing kind of like what the issue is going to be. So that helps too, even just by saying like a few lines, like you get a better feel for things. So that helps. But yeah, this one we actually get to like you said, you get to see her powers. She just looks like a total badass. Like she looks just incredibly powerful, and yeah, it's just stunning. So I'm excited because I like seeing stuff like that happen for women and everything. So yeah, I'm more sold. I wasn't sold before just because I didn't really care for that first trailer. But this one I actually enjoyed a lot. Like it did a good job balancing story and some action shots without giving like the entire plot away. And you also get to like get a glimpse of like her power and stuff, which I think helps still people kind of like you who aren't necessarily on board with this character overall. But I think like shots like that where you just see her just kicking ass all over the place, you're like, all right, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys. I will say though that shot that Chuck mentions where she's in space and she's kind of using her power, I think we have officially found our Goku for the Dragon Ball Z movie, because that was literally like my first thought, especially when she doesn't have like her suit like hat on and her hair is kind of up there.
I was waiting to say this. I think they may have figured out how to get the Super Saiyan look to work.
Yeah, you know, maybe they just hire her like strictly for her hair, and then they kind of like just Photoshop the hair on whoever is the actor, because it looks legitimately perfect for a Super Saiyan hairstyle.
Oh my god! I think we need to talk to those people. I think they figured it out.
They finally got it.
Yeah. But anyway, not going too far in a different subject. Yeah, the first trailer, I gotta agree, was definitely underwhelming. I don't know too much about Captain Marvel. Like, I think I know a little bit more than you do, Chuck, just because I've read a couple of Avengers stories that she's in. And I know a little bit of her backstory. So they're sticking pretty, from what it looks like and from what I've read, they're sticking pretty close to her traditional backstory. And then oh my god, I lost my thought. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't. Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, no, she definitely looks like she's a badass. And that's exciting to see, considering, a lot of people are iffy. And I hate that a lot of people are iffy strictly because it's a female character. Like, that really shouldn't play a factor into why you feeling different about this movie, female or not. But it looks like she can kick ass, and it looks like she can stand up with, so far, anybody that we've seen in the Marvel Universe. It looks like she can hold her own. That includes Thanos. And we know comic book wise, she can kick Thanos' ass. So I don't know if they'll like keep that the same, because she will be an Endgame. But we do know comic book wise, she can go toe to toe with Thanos, even with the Infinity Gauntlet, with all of the stones. So yeah, I do like in this case that they did give us a little bit more action. But again, they didn't give the plot away, which was nice, because that is something where I really don't want to know too much. There was some leaked information because of the Funko Pops that gave a little bit of the plot away. But again, you still don't know too much as to like how it's gonna look on screen. Obviously, it was more so character detail, and there was a character, I'm not gonna mention it here, because unless you haven't seen it, I do think it's kind of a big deal going into the movie. There's just a certain character that a lot of us, like, Marvel and the actor didn't confirm who he really was. And with the Funko Pop leaks, it kind of turns out it's a big deal as to who he was, more so than we thought. So, definitely looking forward to that. But, it does look great. And, yeah, I don't think there's much that they could do to, like, get me, like, super excited. But they also haven't done anything to, like, just make me feel like it's gonna suck.
Bring you out from it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I'm gonna go see it, but I'm not hyped.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything to get me hyped about it just yet.
And again, like you mentioned, part of that is just the overall, like, I don't know much about the character. The same way. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I also think it's how they're interpreting her as well. Like, they're playing it like where she's just very reserved. She's very and then she doesn't necessarily even know what she's doing. I feel like is kind of the vibe.
I'm okay with it.
I mean,
the first real glimpse we get of her is in Endgame, just like coming in and.
Well, no, her movie comes out before.
Oh, well, then I don't know what's
because her movie is set in 1995,
right?
And then we get Endgame, so hers comes out first. I wouldn't say that she doesn't look like she knows what she's doing, because it's very obvious. Like, she's been a hero. Like, unless I'm just misunderstanding like what you're meaning, because she's been a hero for quite some time. It's just that there is, in the movie, it's very clear that there is obviously her past where she has no clue what that is. So that's a factor. But as far as like using her powers,
I didn't mean that way.
Okay.
I mean, like, because she doesn't know who she is, she doesn't know what she's actually trying to accomplish as a mission in this movie. I feel like that's at least what we're getting shown as I feel like that's what they're showing the audience about her.
Just because they do focus on the fact, like, I don't know my past.
Yeah, like, she's like, aside from her trying to figure out who she is, we don't really know what her specific purpose is and mission is in this movie. Like, we see she's been some figure for a while, but we just don't know.
She does mention that, like, towards the end, that she says, you know, I'm not gonna be a part of your war. I'm gonna finish your war. So I think that kind of just gives it away that, like, her mission is to stop whatever war is being planned.
And I guess that's what I'm thinking. All you can say is whatever war is being.
Okay, yeah.
It's they're playing it very vague, and I'm not sure why they're playing it so vague, and that's hard for me to get as invested in. Because, like, like, Aquaman's coming out. He's trying to prevent a war, and we know exactly what the nature of the war is. We know what his goals are to accomplish. But yet, that doesn't, knowing what the plot is hasn't, like, diminished my anticipation of it. Whereas they're playing things very vague and kind of secretive with this movie. And that is, the fact that I don't know any of the plot is taking away my investment and interest in the movie.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now. But yeah, no, other than that, like, I don't really have anything to add to it. It looked great. But yeah, like you mentioned, I don't think there's anything that Marvel could do to, like, get me as hype as I am about, like, Civil War or Infinity War. But they can do certain things that makes me, like, completely uninterested, and they haven't done that yet, which is great.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to feel like as excited about somebody that we're not super familiar with, as opposed to characters I've been invested for a decade. So it's always going to be hard to be like, be just as excited to see Captain Marvel as you are to see this. Like, this is years of my life.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm excited.
The biggest thing is it's exciting to see a female lead character finally get like the justice that in being portrayed in a light that they're not just like a sex symbol. That is great to see.
And they're also not necessarily like overpowering her or giving her too much things, because that's kind of partially my problem with some of the other characters, where I'm like, what are we doing here? You are basically useless.
Yeah.
Go away.
Because again, they've even let it be known already that moving forward, she will be the most powerful character in the Marvel universe, especially at least on the hero side. That might change for the villains at some point, but she's gonna be able to hold her own against anybody, any day. So that's great to see. Want to just thank everybody for watching, listening, however you're taking in the content. Don't forget to comment. Let us know your feelings on the new trailer, what your thoughts are. If you're excited for the movie, if you're not excited for the movie, and why. We'd love to interact with you guys as much as possible. But again, want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank my co-host here for joining me today and having this discussion. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day and a great weekend.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.